Hello and welcome once again to Over the Hill mountain biking. Now today I'm doing a classic Lake District route. It's known affectionately as the Borrowdale Bash. It's not a particularly long route, but there are some killer climbs on this route, and it does get quite technical in places. It's quite rocky, so I wouldn't suggest that it was for beginners. And the ride starts from Keswick and follows the busy road, as you can see, down alongside Durban Water. After a while it does turn off to the left and we climb up to the famous Honister Bridge, and here it is, and I'm just about to cross it. Stunning little bridge. And then again it's on up past Surprise View and then along the valley. We end up at the gorgeous little hamlet of Wartendleth. Cross over the little Packhorse Bridge and take in the wonderful views around this little hamlet. It's absolutely gorgeous with its tarn next to it. Just stunning, especially when the weather is as good as it was when I was there. And then it's time to go off-road, and this is where it starts to get a little bit tough. Now, in my defence, this was the first ride I'd ever done on this bike. In fact, it was the first ride I'd ever done on an e-bike and the first ride on a 29-inch wheel bike as well, so it took a bit of getting used to. Well, that's my excuse anyway. The climb is quite hard. It's steep and loose and rough. But once you're on the top, the riding is actually very pleasant. And views to die for, I have to say. What a view, just fantastic. Hope the camera's picking this up. to get over. By the way, if you're watching this video hoping to see shots of big jumps and death-defying downhill speeds, you've chosen the wrong channel. The descent is fun at first, it is very enjoyable, but soon degrades into a steep and very rocky descent, at least in its middle section, and for me it was pretty unrideable. Luckily, it's only a short section that is really steep and rocky, and the rest of it is again fun. It's still quite technical in parts. It's quite rocky, but it's a lot more rideable. Thank you. And you will be able to go faster if you weren't riding an e-bike with 29-inch tyres for the first time ever. Eventually the track spits us back out onto the road we rode on earlier, down the Borrowdale Valley. We go through the pretty little hamlet of Sea Toller, and this is where the next climb starts. Now this is a killer, I can't deny it, even on an e-bike it's not easy. This is Honister Pass, possibly one of the steepest passes in Britain, and it is steep. But there's no way around it. If you want to do this ride, you have to get up this pass. So either ride up it, push your bike up it, or do a bit of both. But either way, you'll get there. This is one of the steepest roads in Britain. I've ridden it on a normal mountain bike, and it's a killer. You may be glad to know that we don't actually ride up the pass up to its summit. We do turn off about 2/3 of the way up. And I think it's time for a rest and a bite to eat.
Okay. Oh. What a view. Oh. Fantastic. Well, I'm just over halfway up Honister Pass, but this is where I fortunately leave it and start a descent off-road.
From here, the track heads north, essentially taking us back to Keswick, but on the opposite side of Borrowdale.
Hello.
There is a very indistinct turn that we need to make on the left here. Just before, I don't know if you can see, there's a little wood ahead, small copse. We need to take this left track here, because if we take the right one, it takes us back down into the bottom of the valley. So look out for that left turn.
Look at that for a view. Stupendous. Absolutely breathtaking. Got to keep my eyes on the track there.
The ride along this section is pure heaven. It's absolute bliss. There are a few gates, unfortunately, that we have to go through, and there are one or two hike-bike sections as well, which wasn't easy with an e-bike, but they're only short, so not too bad. Oh look, another gate. The next section is possibly the biggest descent of the day and the rockiest. It is mega rocky. I remember doing this in the early days of mountain biking on a bike with no suspension whatsoever. Mental, absolutely mental. It is bone jarring, even on a full suspension mountain bike, but good fun.
And I did this the first time with no suspension whatsoever. Hello.
The track eventually spits us out at Grange, the little village at the bottom end of Dome Water. There we turn left and ride towards a little hamlet or collection of houses possibly by the name of Honister. And at Honister we take the little bridleway that climbs up on the left. This takes us to what we tend to know as the terraces below Catbells, where we will have some of the best views you will ever see in the UK.
Oh, steep.
Unfortunately, this is what happens when the SD card in your camera fills up. I'd put a too small a card in the camera and it couldn't contain all the footage. However, I did come back later, admittedly sometime later. In fact, it was the following spring, but it was an equally beautiful day and I was able to finish the ride. The track we're on actually goes up onto Catbells, but we need to turn off to the right, which is through the trees at the top of this wood on the right hand side. On the other side of the wood, the views open up, and what views they are.
Look at that view. Look at that view. Some house there, blimey. This is going to be one of the best views in Britain. Oh, stunning. Skidder in the distance, Blencathra to the right, Wall of Crag here, the shade, Dome Water obviously below, just stunning, and of course Keswick, Keswick in the distance, just stunning.
Then all that's left is to ride the terraces along the side of Campbell's, and our ride is done. These are fun, they're not technical, they're very easy to do. There's a dip and a climb and a dip, and all good fun, as long as there aren't too many walkers.
Just to let you know, this is Good Friday, and what a Good Friday it is. Nobody blocking the path as well, which is good. Whew.
Yes, this was fairly early in the morning, so not many people about, but if you did this route later on in the day, these terraces can get rammed with walkers. The first section drops us down onto the road, but as soon as we hit the tarmac, we're back off road again and climb up the other side.
Where the walkers around these blind bends. And that's all the off-road.
And all that's left to do now is to ride back on the tarmac, back to Keswick. Now as road rides go, it's actually quite a pleasant ride, so the fun isn't over yet. As always, I'm going to say, would I recommend this ride? And the answer in this case is definitely. It's fantastic. Who is it for? Well, if you like technical riding, it's certainly for you, and there are some big steep climbs on this. It's maybe not for beginners, but it is a fun ride if you like something a bit techy. So, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing, and if you do, please also hit that notification bell, and you will be notified of any videos that I upload in future. So, take care, peace, love, and I'll see you all very soon.